Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence stays with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there are 2 assistant state attorneys in the courtroom with me this afternoon. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Everybody raise your right hand. You all solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please come forward to the podium. Trust safe thou would. Afternoon, Miss Wood. What's your date of birth?
6/16/74.
Miss Wood, I've got 2 probable cause arrests for violation of community control. There's 2 counts in the 1 case, looks like. There's probable cause for the violation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. And Mr. Lehman, what did you want to tell me?
I just was going to argue against a bond if this court was so inclined.
Not inclined. Not inclined.
We do need this to go back to Judge Meritor.
I've got a date of 11/12. Does that sound right?
I'm sorry, I don't know offhand.
Okay. I think it is. I know we have a new date here. So, all right. So, Ms. Wood, the bond on the arrest is no bond. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to have you back in court on the 12th of November. They may have told you the 22nd. The right date is the 12th. Public defender is going to come see you before then. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Destiny Bird. Afternoon, Ms. Bird. What's your date of birth?
10/10/1983.
Destiny, you've got a warrant here today signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change it. We'll send you back to see Judge Toner on the 22nd of November. Public defender is going to come see you before then, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Amber Carroll? After Ms. Carroll, what's your date of birth?
4/14/86.
Ms. Carroll, you're also here in a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He also found in your case that you'd violated a probable cause to believe you had violated your probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Appointed public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to send you back to see Judge Toner on November 22nd. Public defender will come see you before you go to court, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
in reference to that case, she was actually brought here on a transport order, and
Right.
she's already set for October 25th.
There you go. Let's change it to October 25th. Very good. Monica Gluck. Afternoon, Monica. What's your date of birth?
8/11/84.
Monica, I've got 2 charges today. I've got a trespass and a criminal mischief. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Your Honor, it looks like she just had a possession of cannabis less than 20 grams and possession of paraphernalia in February. Got a withhold as to the cannabis and adjudication as to the paraphernalia. And then prior history is a duelist from 2002. I'm not showing you the decision. So I'm showing her.
All right. Monica, you been staying with somebody or living outdoors? What's been going on?
I've been living in the woods behind my mom's where I'm supposed to be trespassing, which I didn't even know anything about the trespassing warrant.
Well, you sure do now, right? All right.
Huh?
Very good. Are you working these days?
No, not really.
I'm going to set a bond of $500 on each case. You'll be back in court on the 13th of November. If you get out, you should go see the public defender. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you before court, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Anastasia Lee. Afternoon, Miss Lee. What's your date of birth?
12/30/1983.
Miss Lee, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I'm a public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I'll have you back to see Judge Toner on the 22nd of November. The public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Kristen McKinney-Gray. Afternoon, young lady. What's your date of birth?
1796.
Kristen, I got 2 charges of grand theft auto. There's probable cause for both of them. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Looks like you've got some other open cases already pending, right? Yep. Okay. I'll appoint the public defender, then I'll leave the bonds at the schedule on both of these, so it's $2,000 on each one. I'll move both cases to the 12th of November, which is where your other cases are, and the public defender will come see you before you go to court, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Denise Oakley?
Yes.
Ms. Oakley, what's your date of birth?
11/10/1962.
Oakley, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Represent myself.
Okay. State what can you tell me?
I'm showing no history, Your Honor.
Okay. Denise, I have an address you on Crystal Brook Circle. Is that where you live?
But I was in between 2 places. I was up in Jersey. I'm here working 2 different spots.
Okay. When,
So, yes,
when you're in
that's
Hernando County, is that where you live?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Okay. And how long have you stayed there when you're in Hernando County?
Within the last 2 years between
Okay.
traveling back and forth.
Okay. And is that where Mr. Clements lives?
Well, he was staying there, and then he was staying at his nephew's, and he was bouncing around kind of.
Okay. And you have a job here in Hernando County?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a cook
Where do you cook?
over at Chop Block Grill.
Okay. All right, Denise, I'm going to set your bond at $50. Condition of the bond is that while this charge is pending, you're not going to have any contact with Mr. Clements. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. Don't go where he lives, don't go where he works, don't have a third person contact him. Any way that you might imagine having contact with him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked, and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants to contact. So if you pick up your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he's allowed to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless the judge on your case or the prosecutor tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you until 4 o'clock this afternoon. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'll have you back in court on November 15th. Very important that you contact, well, you didn't take the PD, so make sure you're here on the 15th of November, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher Bako. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/20/86.
Christopher, you're here in a warrant Judge Ruby signed. Apparently you failed to appear in her court on a charge of driving on a suspended license. State, is this something he can resolve this afternoon?
If he wanted to resolve it for credit time served, Judge.
All right. Christopher, if you want to resolve the case today, you could plead no contest. I'd sentence you to 1 day in the county jail. You've got credit for 1 day served. I'd assess the fine and court costs. This case would be done. And if there was nothing else keeping you in jail, you'd be let out today. Does that sound like something you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you're willing to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. In case number 17 CT 3385, as to the charge that you drove knowing your license had been suspended or revoked, how do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day, credit 1 day served. Fine and court costs now is $450, right? $450 plus $50 for the day in jail. That takes care of it, Christopher. As long as there's nothing else keeping you in jail, you will be released today, okay?
All right, thank you.
Good. Thank you. Donald Clark. Afternoon, Mr. Clark. What's your date of birth?
9/10/62.
Mr. Clark, you're here on a warrant out of Pasco County. A judge down there apparently thinks you failed to report to court on a charge of driving under the influence. That judge set your bond at $6,613. I can't change that, unfortunately. If you have that money, you can bond out here, go down to Newport Richey, find out when they want you in court. If you don't have that money, I'll give Pasco 5 days to come and get you. Never takes 5 with Pasco. But if for some strange reason you are still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Thanks, sir. James Goodrich. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
1/24/83.
James, you're here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge for you of $330. Do you have $330, James?
No, I don't.
Are you working these days?
Actually, I'm here. I just signed for 6 months. Last week.
Oh, okay. How long have you been in?
About a month and a half.
Okay. Hang on. Hang on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do with this, James, I'm going to find you're not in contempt. I have to ask you a question. Did you do something to wind up in jail so you could avoid paying child support?
No.
All right. I'll find you're not in contempt for failure to pay child support, so I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on this. It doesn't affect your sentence in any way, but you're not going to be required to pay any money or do any additional time because of this. Now, when you do get out after the 6 months, child support enforcement is one of the places you're going to want to go to try to head this off. Because once you're out, they can start this process over again. You can wind up back in jail. All right.
All right. Is it on hold until we get out? Or?
There's no hold on this. Well, it's not on hold. You owe the money. I think you owe some money. But I'm just finding that you're not in contempt for not paying the money because you've been in jail. And that's why I asked you that silly question, is that you didn't go to jail on purpose to avoid paying child support. But you clearly owe some, so when you get out, you're going to want to get with them and try to figure out what to do to get this cleared up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam Green. Afternoon, Mr. Green. What's your date of birth?
January 3rd, 91.
All right. Adam, you're here in a warrant I signed. You failed to appear in my court on 3 charges. No endorsement, driving on a suspended license, and no registration. State, is this something he can settle today?
Sorry, Judge. If he wanted to do an adjudication, did he just get arrested this morning, or does he have credit for yesterday?
He has 2.
I'd give him credit, time served.
All right. Adam, you want to take time served and be done with this?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this today?
Yes, sir.
In case number 19CT2690, as to charge of count 1 of no proper endorsement, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
Very good. And it's charge of count 2 that you drove knowing your license was suspended. How do you wish to plead?
No contest.
And the charge of count 3 that the vehicle you're driving didn't have proper registration. How do you wish to plead?
No contest.
I'll accept those pleas. I'll find they're freely and voluntarily made. When adjudicate you guilty on all 3, sentence you to 2 days in the county jail on all 3, credit 2 days served on all 3. Finding court costs on count 1 is $450, on counts 2 and 3 is $88. $100 for the time in jail, but that takes care of it. Adam, if there's nothing else keeping you in jail, you'll be released today, okay? Kenneth Kukin? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
11/23/69.
All right, Kenneth, I have a writ of bodily attachment for child support for you, but yours is from Hillsborough County. So the child
Yes, sir.
support hearing officer and the circuit judge that determined you owe some child support are down there. They set a cash purge of $4,000. Your options are you can pay the $4,000 and get out of jail. If you can't pay the $4,000, then Hillsborough would have 5 days to come get you, and then the judge down there could reduce that amount to get you out of jail. All right?
Okay, sir, can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm working for Ohio Steel Industries in Ohio, and I got this popped up. I've been paying child support. They take it right in my check. I'm called up. I come back to Hillsborough County to take care of this child support. I went to the child support enforcement office. They said there shouldn't be nothing on me. They went in the back. This warrant popped up. I said, well, I need to take care of this warrant. And I went to find a place for my 8-year-old, my 6-year-old, and my disabled wife to stay while I went and take care of this warrant. Next thing I know, they got me locked up in Hernando County. I tried to get this taken care of. Like I say, this is an old warrant. I've already been to court. I've been to jail over 3 times now. I've bonded out. I paid purges. I've paid reinstatement fees. I mean, they keep suspending my license and everything. I've been through the ringer with this.
Right.
And I want to get it taken care of. I don't understand, like the man in child support said, he don't understand why the warrant is even on me. So, I don't know.
Okay.
I got an 8-year-old and I got an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old out there that I don't even know where it's at because I can't make a phone call.
And unfortunately, the answer to all this is I'm a Hernando County judge. I don't know anything about your case. I don't know what's going on, and the way to get it figured out is to go to Hillsborough County.
But that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get this taken care of.
Well, you're going to get there now because we're going to take you. So,
Okay, that's fine.
all right, thank you.
All right, well, thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Randy, overall? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
5/13/54.
Randy, I have 2 warrants for you. They were both signed by Judge Barbie. Each one, he found probable cause for a grand theft. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You can hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. Dave, what can you tell me?
Showing a driving while license suspended was dismissed in 2006. That's all I'm showing. Besides these 2 cases.
All right. And Randy, you been staying with somebody or living outdoors? What's going on?
I was living outdoors. I am currently with a friend.
Okay, what's the address where that friend lives?
11214 Murre, Murre Road,
Okay.
Wikiwachi.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
Looking.
Okay. I will set the bonds at 1,000 on each case, so the total is 2,000. They'll both be back November 22nd. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. James Pope.
Hello, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
6/20/65.
James, you're here on a warrant that Judge Rupi signed for me. She found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on the warrant. Go ahead.
Is there any way we can resolve this today, Your Honor?
The resolution is 90 days in the county jail. Is that something you're interested in?
No, sir.
All right.
I did everything but my anger management. I paid all the fines except for my anger management.
Okay.
I did everything but that.
It's definitely worth talking to the PD about that.
I mean, I tried. My PO told me that if I had it done by the end of this month, that I wouldn't be in violation. And I got arrested before I could do the class.
Well, apparently you weren't
And
reporting for drug screens either. There's that, but we're not gonna try your case today. I'm gonna leave the bond at no bond. I'm gonna have you back in a couple of weeks on the 13th of November. The public defender will come see you before then. You and I will talk again and see if there's something better than 90 days. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a full-time job. I took 3 months to try to get onto this company, and I just now got hired by them. And it's the best job I've had in 3 years. And I was wondering if I could be ROR.
Not happening. You're going to be back on the 13th of November.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Adam Schultz.
Slide in, stop talking, slide in.
Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/18/1983.
Adam, I'm in charge of criminal mischief. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself and hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender. See?
Showing an adjudication for driving while license suspended in 2016 out of Volusia. Showing an adjudication for burglary of a conveyance, resisting without violence, grand theft out of Brevard. And those are showing as a reopen, so I don't know if there's a violation on that. That's from 2015. There's a dropped grand theft 2015 out of Volusia. There's also multiple other dropped cases. I'm showing an adjudication for fleeing to elude 2013 out of Volusia. Adjudication fleeing to elude a reckless reduced from a DUI, driving while license suspended 2013 out of Volusia. Adjudication retail theft 2013 out of Volusia. Adjudication burglary of an unoccupied structure and grand theft 2013 out of Volusia. Adjudication for giving false name upon arrest, trespass, retail theft 2010 out of Volusia. Multiple dropped cases, burglary, grand theft. Adjudication for driving while license suspended, fleeing or attempting to elude 2010 out of Volusia. Adjudication reckless driving, driving while license suspended, leaving the scene involving a crash 2010 out of Volusia. Adjudication burglary of an unoccupied structure 2010 out of Volusia. And there's
That's separate.
yeah.
Adam, I've got an address for you on Suncrest Boulevard in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
5 years.
You have a job these days?
I do.
What do you do?
I'm a roofer.
Okay. I'm going to leave your bond at the $2,000. I'll have you back in court on the 22nd of November. If you get out, you should contact the PD. If you can't get out, they'll come see you. Thank you. Michael, sit. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/17/64.
All right. Michael, you're also here on a writ of bodily attachment. Like I said before, that means child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined you owe child support. They set a cash purge of $3,160. Do you have that much money, Michael?
No, I don't, sir.
Are you working these days?
My boss is trying to get a hold of me right now.
Okay, what kind of work do you do?
I'm a framer and a trim carpenter.
Okay, how much you been working lately?
Going on about 8 years.
Okay, but are you working 40 hours these days?
No, I was on part-time.
Okay.
And they were taking child support out through Southeast Leasing, but then we got caught with, no workman's comp.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Michael, is there an amount of money that you could come up with today if it meant getting out of jail? Any amount at all?
If I could get out, I probably could get some money.
Well, it doesn't work that way. Is there any amount that you can get somebody to bring to the jail? Anything?
I could try.
All right. Give me a number, brother.
I don't know how much they can bring.
Well, you see, the number I have right now is $3,160. I'm asking you to give me a different one.
Maybe 1,000?
Okay. That sounds ambitious. Does that sound ambitious to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. How about 250? Think you can get somebody to bring 250 to the jail?
I think so.
All right. Because what I'm going to do is I'm finding you in contempt. I'm sentencing you to 10 days in the county jail. Now, you don't have to do the 10 days if somebody brings the money to the jail, all right? You with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll set it at 250. Once you get out, no matter how you get out, you're going to want to go see the folks at Child Support Enforcement and get this issue cleared up so you don't get arrested again, okay?
Yeah, I already got a number that I got to go on the 26th at 10 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Very good. And you better get that money there so you're out. All right. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Yep. Lee Walker. Afternoon, sir.
He does have some time in the past.
What's your date of birth?
5/13/1980.
Lee, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. Apparently you failed to appear in her court on a possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia, and driving on a suspended license. Is there a resolution today, Anna Marie?
He offers 180 days for Andy from jail.
Okay. It's 6 months in the county jail, Lee. Is that something you want to do?
Is there any way I can do 120 days to plea out today?
The offer's 180.
He's got to open past.
That's the lowest, sir.
That's what they're saying to me.
He'll take 120 days.
He'll do 120.
120 days?
She's
Yes,
next.
sir, 120 days.
All right.
He has credit for 22, Judge.
Credit for 22. 120 with credit for 22. Does that sound right, Lee?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 19MM1302, that's the charge of count 1 of possession of marijuana. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
As the charge of count 2, possession of paraphernalia, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest, sir.
And as the charge of count 3 that you drove on a suspended license, how do you wish to plead?
No contest, sir.
Accept those pleas. I'll find they're freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty on all 3, 120 days in the county jail on all 3, 22 served on all 3. Finding court cus, what's the new marijuana and paraphernalia? Their adjudications. For marijuana? What about and then paraphernalia is 103?
Yeah. No.
Because I don't have to, that's right. Alright, so the finding court costs on 1 is $575, on 2 and 3 are $88. There'll be cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it, Lee. You just need to finish the time, okay?
So it would be 120 minus 22 days.
Right, and you get good time too. If you behave yourself while you're there, you're going to get 20 days of good time. So you're down to about 78 right now.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. And 6-month DL. Michael Young. Well, Mr. Young, what's your date of birth?
8/27/80.
Mr. Young, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Represent myself.
Very good. Statement, can you tell me?
Has a withhold for battery in 2002, also a withhold for resisting without violence, and those are out of Hillsborough. That's all I'm showing, Your Honor.
All right. Michael, I have an address for you on Cindy Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
About a year and a half.
Okay. And you live, does your dad live there too?
No.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir.
Such a bond of $500. Condition of the bond is that you have no contact with your dad. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Got to hold you till 4 p.m., so if he wants to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. And then I'll have you back in court on the 15th of November, all right?
All right, thank you.
Very good.
Sweet, Alan.